money comes to me with minimal effort.
It's like, I'm only gonna be happy if I marry a werewolf.
Hi bookies, hookies, people who like to read, people who do not like to read, I see you. I'm Cara Michaela. Welcome to Hooked on the Books. This episode we are going to be reading Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Ooh. How to Turn Your Fear and Indecision into Confidence and Action by Susan Jeffers. Dr. Susan Jeffers. Put some respect on her name. I know that is right. Now, I got this book in 4 form. You know, sometimes it's like you have all these books and you never actually read them. So I thought, well, this is the time. This is the time to read books that I already own. So I got this book in 4 form for doing something good. And I was just like, well, whatever. I'm not going to read this. Like, it's a book of price. You know, when you're 16, you just don't. But it's actually one of the best books that I could have ever been gifted. It's actually so good, and I suggest that everybody go and get a copy. It should be a reference book. Get a physical copy. Get one that you can refer to, that you can mark up. It's actually a how-to book, so it gives you instructions and it gives you tools on how to feel the fear and do it anyway. I love that for us. I love that we're facing all our fears and we're achieving all of our goals because we're not going to let fear stop us or stand in our way. That's what's going to happen by the end of this video. You're going to go away, you're going to get this book, you're going to read it, and you're going to put your life into action. I want that for you. So, let's talk a little bit about the book and some of the things that are inside of the book. Let's talk about the truths that she shares about fears. So, one of the first truths that she shares is that as long as you continue to grow, you will feel fear. Okay, so growth, fear, go hand in hand. Kissing. They're going to happen together. It is going to happen. As soon as you step into an unfamiliar territory, you are going to feel fear. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, bud? Are you going to let it challenge you? Exactly. So that's normal. And also, as long as you go into an unfamiliar territory, there are also other people who feel the same fear as you. You're not alone in feeling fear. Like, everybody has these different fears that they're okay. So somebody may be afraid of spiders and the next person's afraid of public speaking. There is something that everybody fears. We're not going to let that stop our lives or stop us from conquering and doing great things. And the only way, another truth number 3, did we get it? Truth number 1 is as long as I continue to grow, I will always feel fear. You're going to feel fear. There always will be fear. Truth number 2 is that everybody else also feels fear. Truth number 3 is that when the only way to feel better about myself is to go and do it. Ooh, I'm remembering some things. The only way to feel better about yourself is to go out and do it. Like, you're ever gonna feel better. You're not gonna be like, oh, later, don't delay it. You know, like, the only way to face a fear or to get past something is by going out and actually doing something. Like, what are you waiting on? How to get rid of the fear. I get that. So that's in this book. So she gives you some great tools. She talks about changing your speech. That's a very big one. Like, a lot of people are constantly saying negative things over their lives. Why are you doing that? Don't say negative things over you. I don't say negative things. Well, I try not to because sometimes it's hard. The mind. I try not to say negative things over my race. I try not to say negative things over my family. I try not to say negative things over my country. All those things make up me. Why would I say something negative about any of those things? They're a part of me. I'm saying and I'm speaking positive things, which that's not all in the book, but you know, we're gonna go with some of my interpretation. But I'm not saying those negative things because I want good things for myself. So she was talking about how, okay, you don't want to say phrases like, I am not afraid, because what your brain is hearing is the word afraid. It's not hearing the not, like, it's not registering the not in front of it. That's not how you speak positivity over your life. There's a way to do it because we want our brains to register the good things. So you have to say, I am brave. I am courageous. That's how you have to speak good things over your life. You want to do it the right way too, because you want your brain to understand and to function and to act accordingly. So I like to say positive things over my life, like, I get money with minimal effort. I get money with minimal effort. And you know, I like to say how I get money too because I don't want to work that hard for it. So I'm speaking my reality. I'm speaking it into being. That's what I want for my life. So I don't know what you want to wake up every morning and tell yourself. I think it's best to say things aloud so you can actually hear yourself. But have some things in your arsenal that you get out and you say, you repeat over your life, you repeat over your life. This is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. Me, I want money with minimal effort. That is right. I want to be brave, I want to be strong, I want to be courageous, and I don't want fear to stop me from doing what I have to do. Okay, so let's move on to another point in the book that I thought was really good. So she talks about being a Pollyanna. Like, I've never heard about that. I don't know if that's like some American thing. I'm not really sure. Or is that something that y'all know about? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, all that good stuff. But being a Pollyanna is really being somebody who's overly that's always positive or tries to see the positive in everything. And a lot of people think of that as something negative. But she's trying to say that, you know, more than likely good things are going to happen. So that's not being like hairy fairy person. Like, more than likely the good is actually going to happen. So accept that more than likely good things are going to happen. How many times I'm going to say more than likely good things are going to happen? I wish good things for you. Good things are going to happen to you. I speak blessings into your life. Yeah, so don't look down on the person who's trying to be positive. Don't be a Debbie Downer on Pollyanna. You know? Just accept that what you are fearing or what you fear the most is probably not going to happen. So then what's that saying? When you fear something or you're afraid of something, you like, it's like you go through it twice. You go through it for the entire time that you're being afraid, and then you go through it again when you actually go through it. And then after that, you're like, ooh, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Right. But one of my favorite quotes, moving on smartly, is that really stood out to me. Let me find it and let me read it for y'all. I got my trusty notebook so you don't get it wrong. Right. So security is not having things, it's handling things. Let's get into that quote. Security is not having things, it is handling things. We think, once I have this job, once I have these clothes, once I have these earthly possessions, once I get this, after I get this, I'm going to be happy. And we're constantly searching for that. We're constantly trying to get that. But that's not security, because we think, oh, well, that's how we've been trained to think when we go to school. You know, where they indoctrinate you and teach you how to live, and then you come out and you do the exact same things. Alright, let's not get into that. But security is, sorry guys, my card was full. Here we are again. Where were we? Right, security is not having things, it's handling things. So even though we see in pandemic, like, you thought you had all these things and you thought you were secure, nowhere is safe, nowhere is secure. Security is knowing that you're going to handle things. That's why she says what all fears actually amount to is that you think you can't handle it. You think, I can't handle this situation. That's why you're afraid of it. I can't handle if this were to happen. I just cannot handle it. So that is what all fears amount to. And we want to get past that, knowing that, okay, if this happens, I can handle it. If this happens, I will handle it. If anything happens, I'll find a lesson in it. Whatever it is, I'm going to figure it out. And if you think like that, like, I think that's how you unlock the keys to life. That is the key to life. I think that's the key. So you gotta know that you can handle things. So that's why I thought that quote was very important for me, especially in my life, because, you know, it's just the pivoting, is the having to, life is hard. Life is hard. I don't know why nobody told us that it was so hard. Like, nobody was like, let me just prepare this law. Instead, we went to school and they're like, you get a good job. You go to school, you get a good job. You get a good pay. You get a mortgage. Like, you do all those things and you'll be all right. And you have your pension and you live out your days after you've worked so hard for somebody and everything. I don't know, that narrative. It's just, I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with it. It's not sitting well with me. It's not. Because we have, I think, especially our generation, millennials, Gen Z, we have realized that that's not all life is, and that's not what we actually want our lives to be. So here we are, reading books and getting ideas from other people on how to handle things, you know? So another thing I really liked about the book is how she delves in to other people's stories. There's nothing like hearing somebody else's story and gaining power from that. That's why Jesus told parables. I don't know if that's true. I have to ask Jesus. But that's why we get stories, because people love a good story. Love a good story. So when she, in the book, when she gives other people's stories and examples of how other people got over their fears and what happened, because she taught classes on how to feel fear and do it anyway, because it's instructional. So she's helping people. Don't we love people like Susan Jeffers, just out there helping people? On to another point that Miss Jeffers makes. You have to take responsibility for your life. You've got to take responsibility for your life. You can't blame anybody else. Like when you're 30, even 20, 40, all of you who are blaming your parents still, you got to take responsibility. Don't let that be you. Don't be that person who continues to blame their parents because you had some childhood trauma. I'm sorry that it happened, but at this point, you have to turn your pain into power, as she says. Don't let anybody, you are giving away your power the moment that you continue to blame somebody for your life when you're 30 years old, when you're 40 years old. You want to move from a place of pain to power. And how do you do that? You don't let fear stop you. You know, fear is like a little bump in the road. It really is a bump in the road because there's nothing really to actually fear but you being so afraid. It being debilitating. That is what you don't want to happen to you. So in moving from a place of pain to power, that's when you stop blaming other people for what's happening in your life. Point blank, period. So that also means when you take back your power, that you take responsibility for your own life. Wow, I am saying the same thing I said before, but y'all know exactly what I mean. Y'all know exactly what I mean. Don't blame other people. What are you going to do about it? What you're going to do is to buy this book. Feel the fear and do it anyway. So that you could do change your daily routine. The thing is that people want their lives to change, but they don't want to change anything about it. Like, how you want your life to change? You just want somebody else to come in and swoop in and be your knight in shining armor. I'm sorry. There's no knight in shining armor. Except Jehovah, God, Yahweh, Allah. I don't know whatever you believe in. I believe in Jehovah. So the thing is, you gotta go and you gotta change your life. You can't want your life to change. You can't want to move from a place of pain to power and you're not doing anything about it. But if you're here, I feel as though you are doing something about it because we are making our lives better together. Okay, moving on to another point in this book that I absolutely loved. She was talking about closer to the end, which I can figure out how this got into this, but I'm sure there was a connection, but I guess, I don't know. She talked about, are you a giving person? Are you giving because you love to give, or are you giving because you expect something back? Because if you're giving because you expect something back, that's where you have all that fear around giving. Like, oh my, you feel so hurt because somebody didn't actually give back something to you. You feel hurt because you didn't get what you thought you should get in return. Are you a giving person? Are you giving freely? That's something we need to start doing, giving a little bit more freely. So all in all, I want to say that this book has been amazing for my life. It changed my daily schedule, my daily routine, in that I say more positive things over my life. Now I have come up with things to say. It's not that I'm just, off the... It's easy sometimes. You need to come up with things to say. Sometimes you say repeatedly. You say it until you believe it. You believe it, you become it. So you change your life in that way. And I know that I can always come back to it. I own the book. I can always come back to it and go over the tools that she gives you. Go over how you turn your pain into power. How to regain control over your life. That's what I want. That's what you should want. So this has been Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. How to turn your fear and indecision into confidence in action. I hope that you like the points that I brought up. There are obviously so many other things in this book. So, like I said, for the 100th time, you might want to get it. I'm gonna put this on top 10 best self-help books. I haven't read that many, but I know it is. Check me at the end of the year and we'll see if this is still on this. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, this has been Hooked on the Books. I am Cara Michaela. If you like this video, click the like button. Share this video with your friends who are going through it and need to face their fears. Also subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Turn on your bell notifications. Bell notifications. Is that it? Tell me if it's not. I'll figure it out at some point. But don't miss any videos that we post. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, hookies!